What is going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Guys, got to do another video here for you. Thank you again for all the support recently. Know that it's not been a lot, but do appreciate you guys still watching the videos. Hopefully, within this month, we're going to have a chance to be able to get back to some better videos here recently. So we're going to go ahead and do this video. This is our fly or flop edition of free agency. Basically, any of the incoming players, either through guys that have been here and were in free agency this year or new free agent signings, we're going to do a fly or flop. Are they going to fly in 2023? Or are they going to flop in 2023 and not be a great addition to this team? So let's go ahead and hop into this. The biggest name and the biggest moneymaker for the Indianapolis Colts this season, and that is Samson Ebukam. He is a defensive end. He came from San Francisco. He's going to be 28 this year. Had that 3-year, $24 million contract that he's got. So, the Indianapolis Colts, put a good amount of money into Ebukam, and not a top tier, moneymaker when it comes to that, but that is far and above a number from just a role player. So definitely the Colts have some expectations for Samson Ebukam to become a disruptor on the outside edge. I will definitely say that with low expectations, increases the chance of a fly opportunity for this sort of opportunity. So I think that ultimately we are going to see Ebukam fly here. I think that he's going to be a guy that, is going to get a lot of minutes because of the fact that he's young, the fact that he's disruptive, the fact that he's capable of doing more and has more potential. I think he's going to fly this year. I think he's going to really prove a lot of people wrong and, do great in Indy from San Francisco. We know Ballard brought another one over from San Francisco, so I think that we can definitely do good here. And then the next biggest one, it was actually one of the first moves. I think it might have been the second move that the Indianapolis Colts made the entire free agency period, and that was Matt Gay, the kicker out of the Rams. So I definitely think that Matt Gay will fly in 2023 for the Indianapolis Colts. He is a phenomenal kicker, definitely a very strong player that has been a very accurate kicker for a long time. And even these last few years, I mean, he's making 85 to 90% of his kicks, right? So, I mean, Matt Gay is a very consistent kicker with a very long leg. The Indianapolis Colts haven't had a lot of that since Adam Vinatieri left several years ago. So this is a team that is in desperate need of making sure that their special teams are on full lockdown. So having Matt Gay here is a very, very good thing for them to be doing. Okay. EJ Speed, the next one. EJ Speed, I definitely think is a fly for the Indianapolis Colts. Everyone that's been following this channel for the last several years has definitely heard my opinion on EJ Speed. I think EJ Speed is a phenomenal player, guy that definitely can take over and fill the shoes of a guy like Bobby Okereke at some point. He won't be asked to because Shaq Leonard's coming back and Zaire Franklin is still there. So, he's going to be filling in that third linebacker role, and I think he's going to fill that role just fine. Ashton Doolin, I'll tell you what, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that it's hard to talk about this one because this was just another free agent signing for the Colts that was already on the team. But if we're talking about like Ashton Doolin, I mean, I'm definitely thinking he's going to flop because while I do think he will be a phenomenal player on special teams for the Indianapolis Colts, I'm not suggesting that he won't. I'm just talking about his role, what would have been his role in the offense, feels like it's gone now because the Indianapolis Colts have signed a couple free agents that I will be talking about here shortly. That I think just ultimately shows that there's the direction of this team is heading a different way. And Ashton Doolin's role in this team is just going to continue to go down from my guesses. And, especially for the fact that, we signed him to a 2-year, $7 million deal. Anyway, next guys that we can talk about here, Taven Bryan. I mean, at the end of the day, I think I'm not expecting much. I'll probably just say fly. I might say fly here because the Indianapolis Colts. While I don't think Bryan will be a huge production guy for this team going forward, this Indianapolis Colts team really struggled this last season, especially with defensive tackle depth. Outside of the top two guys that everyone knows about in Indianapolis, there's just not much behind it. So Taven Bryan has a really fantastic opportunity to, acquire, 20 to 25% of the snaps and have a chance to put some production and put some, pressure on opposing quarterbacks, which I think is a huge thing for this team. It's a huge need for this team. All right. And then the next one that we have, and that is Rodney McLeod. Or not Rodney McLeod, Gardner Minshew. I'm looking at the thing wrong. Sorry about that. Gardner Minshew. This one's an interesting one because I think I'm willing to just say fly here due to the fact of what Gardner Minshew is able to bring to this team. Gardner Minshew is a very wise football player, a very strong character, a guy that you want in the locker room. And for someone who is here to compete with Anthony Richardson, whether Anthony Richardson wins the job or not, Gardner Minshew being able to pass on wisdom with Anthony Richardson. And don't forget, in the offseason, before the Indianapolis Colts drafted Anthony Richardson, about a month or two prior to that decision being made, Anthony Richardson was, in fact, actually working out with now Colts quarterback Gardner Minshew. So there's a lot of opportunities here that Anthony Richardson is able to grow with Gardner Minshew as a mentor. So I think that's why I would probably go fly in this situation because of that. So I definitely think that could be interesting. Isaiah McKenzie is definitely an interesting one here. I think that Isaiah McKenzie most likely would be I think he could be a fly. I mean, there's opportunities for him to be a fly or a flop. He could be both, honestly, because with the offense, I mean, obviously the Colts drafted Josh Downs. Isaiah McKenzie is probably going to likely be the number 4 wide receiver in this whole group. So what his role is offensively, I'm not 100% sure. But I will say that in defense of Isaiah McKenzie, for the fact that he has the ability with a new offensive guy as a coach to make things happen, I think that Isaiah McKenzie could, in fact, be a fly with the offense. It just depends on what is his role going to be. And, of course, his role is probably going to get bigger now in the special teams due to the fact that Isaiah Rodgers is now suspended indefinitely. So Isaiah McKenzie's role is now going to be bigger on special teams. So that's big for him. Rashad Perryman, I'd say that's a flop. I don't really think there's much room for him here. He probably barely even makes the roster. Maybe he doesn't even make it at all. Maybe he just is a casualty cut with it. So I have no idea, but I just don't see it being big. Um, and then another couple here, Jannard Avery. Um, again, flop. I'm not seeing a huge deal out of this. The 28-year-old defensive end from Tampa Bay. I doubt that we see anything big of him. And then the last one is Pharaoh Brown, the tight end that came from Cleveland. Pharaoh Brown actually, played for the Texans for quite a while. And Pharaoh Brown, has actually, kind of destroyed the Colts at times when he was playing with Deshaun Watson. But I'd say it's a flop because the Indianapolis Colts tight end room is so deep that it's hard for me to even imagine if Pharaoh Brown could even make the roster. It's hard because he would be, in my mind right now, would maybe be the fourth tight end at best. He would not be ahead of Kylan Granson. He would not be ahead of Molly Cox. He would not be ahead of Jelani Woods. I just don't see that being the case. So that's it for those guys. That's for all the free agents, guys that we've re-signed and guys who we brought in from other teams. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this group and let me know what you think. Are these guys flies or flops? Did I get them right? Did I get them wrong? Or do you agree or disagree on certain guys? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, guys, go Colts.